Right, it's Friday. It is 10:07 and we're starting out on our New Holland Paradise Intercourse route. A little adventure from Jimmy and Susan's place. So I'm gonna start my Garmin here. Go to the right. So we're going through their community called Garden Spot. It's partly in New Holland and partly in the neighboring township. This route is just on a lot of the roads around this part of Lancaster County. Heavy into Amish country, Amish and Mennonites. Beautiful morning, nice breeze, in fact a little bit of a wind even. So this is all part of the Garden Spot Continuous Care Retirement Community. And they have garden plots there that they can plant if they choose to. Howdy! Okay, we're going down here. Morning! A lot of friendly people. Up here, we're going to turn left. And this is Jackson. Okay. So today's route is going to be a variety of flat and little hills like this, and probably some hills that are more inclined than this. Notice all these old colonial houses, brick, all been fixed up in one way or another. Assume we're going to be out in the countryside. So this is quite a complex here. I'm not sure what it is. So today I'm going to try just not using power whenever it's possible. This is one of those times. Okay, we're going out on this road, Custer Avenue. Tyson's. This is the Tyson's chicken plant. So maybe that's all connected with Tyson's New Holland and Holland facility. So this is a route that I found on Komoot that someone put together. It's a 30-mile loop around this area. As I said, it goes from around New Holland down to Intercourse, Pennsylvania, and Paradise, Pennsylvania. Goes back up around and back into New Holland. So here's more Tysons. They really do have a lot of facilities here. There's beautiful countryside. I've wanted to do this for years and years. We got a little variety. I did a rail trail yesterday, the Northwest Lancaster County Rail Trail. Okay, here comes a hill. That was really a nice ride, nice trail. Farms all over the place. I'm also on the hunt for pumpkins, green and white pumpkins to take back to our daughter, Meadow Creek. I think I'm glad I put my bigger glasses over my glasses, keep the bugs out of my eyes. The good news is cars are used to having to wait for some of the Amish and Mennonites riding bicycles as well as the carriages, so fairly polite, considered of somebody on a bicycle. Leeds Greenhouse. They have pumpkins up there. All right, go right here. Whew! Manure smell. The smell of farming. Lots of corn. Fields and fields and fields of corn. Holland Road. Hollander Road. Okay, over there. We go on this for a third of a mile, and this is the way it's going to be. So once again, I'll get back to you when something exciting happens or a different view of things. There's a nice farm over there to the right. Okay, we've gone 7.5 miles and fields of corn. Some of the fields have been harvested. There are more hills than, well, not than I expected, but there are more hills. They're not really hills. Serious 5%, 6% grades. They're just little, really inclines, but enough that I need to up my assist a little bit, like the one coming up right here. And I'm going to go for 2 miles on this road. More corn. Lots of farms, lots of tables out with one back there with sourdough goodies, squash, and I haven't seen any pumpkins yet though. But I'm going to come back around, probably out on Route 23, where I've seen pumpkins that are the kind that I want to get for our daughter. Corn, I just can't get over the number of cornfields and the amount of corn that's being grown. I assume it's all field corn for feeding the animals, but I have to do a little research and see how else it is used. I know corn's used to make ethanol, but I don't know if they do that. If there's a market for that or not. It's interesting how they'll harvest, just like there on the right, they'll harvest part of it and not the rest of it. When I used to work on a farm when I was a teenager, we'd cut the harvested corn stalks up and the corn, chop it up for fodder and put it in the silos for feeding the animals in the winter. I assume that's what they do, but there can't be that many silos here to accommodate all this corn. Coming up here, we're going to go straight for another almost 2 miles. Most of the roads I've been on are unmarked, so it has a line down the middle. It's more of a more traveled road, I assume. The other roads are just connecting farms and such. Old goat milk. Misty Creek Goat Dairy. Past an Amish schoolhouse back there. The little boys were out playing. It'd be recess time. Couldn't ask for better weather. So we're almost 9 miles in. Haven't been very many cars. That's a nice thing. That's what I was hoping. You know, it's a Friday morning. I guess it's still morning at 10:50. Not a real busy traffic time. 9 miles in, and I've used 14% of my battery. I've been riding mostly at Eco 1 and then derailleur gear 7 and getting 13, 14 miles an hour. But in some of these slopes, it drops down to 10. Right now we're cruising along at 16 miles per hour. Doing a plowing with horses. A team of 6? Oh, maybe 5. Yeah, look at this on the right here. 5 horses. And the S route, that's the Pennsylvania S bike route, which heads west, is going right, but we're gonna go left. Up a hill, of course. Stop for a water break and check my map. So the GPS only shows me just a little bit ahead of me. And we are now around Bird in Hand. It's gonna have me make a sharp right here, almost an angle. So I'm not sure, as if I stay on this road, it goes or it's a road up here, goes to Intercourse, Pennsylvania. This is a busy road. I'm gonna be on this for a mile. Whoa, that's not very exciting. Oh, wow. So this is not a pleasant experience at all. I would think there would be a better way. I'm reluctant to ride up this hill. Traffic is constant. These cars are inches away from me. Okay, we're gonna get up on the sidewalk here. I walked up that hill. It's a rather busy road. I turned on one little road. There's a fire station. Kind enough to let me use the restroom. Road up here that I think I'm going to go on. An Amish carriage ride. Let's see if we can get up here. I don't know if this is it or not, but I'm going to turn here. Lynwood. Let's see what this does. I don't know if this is the one or not, but we'll see. Yeah, this is better. This is the way it's supposed to be. Not with tons of cars less than a foot away from you. So this is the way I would have come in on Zieglist Road. So we're just gonna keep going straight and we're back on our route. All right. Whew, thank goodness for that. So we're almost 13 miles in, not even halfway yet, and we're heading sort of east. The roads have been pretty much the same except for that busy one back there, and this is another, I guess, normally heavily used road since it has the orange line down the middle, unlike the earlier ones we were riding on. All right, we're coming up on, I think we saw this guy earlier, really. Horse-drawn cart, because he's just out for a ride. Well, he's going into this farm, I guess. Coming around. Morning. So we passed 2 farms back there that had quite a variety of pumpkins. So I've marked them on my iPhone calendar and plan to come back because they had some interesting ones that I hadn't seen at the other place I was going to go to. Lots and lots of farms. So this is far better riding on roads like this than, you know, when you're in an urban area and you're riding on roads that are busy. And of course, trails are the best because you don't have to worry about any road cars at all except crossings. I'll keep them going straight. Right. A little busier than most of the roads have been, but it's still not bad. Nice views of country farms. Covered bridge. All right. Onto the bridge and off the bridge. Well, I have to say, this Garmin is great when you want to use it to tell you where to go. Normally on my rides, I'm on trails or things, I don't really need the guidance because the trail's easy to follow. But when you're on something like this, a route that somebody else has laid out, and you're not familiar with the area, it's nice to have the GPS guidance. Well, that's really very handy. I have to look at it a little bit more. I really haven't used it very much like this because sometimes would like to expand it so I can see a bigger picture. I can do that at my phone. That's what I did back in Bird in Hand when we were stuck on that bad road. Okay, we're going to turn left up here. We're on Osella Mill? I don't know. We've done almost 21 miles. Okay, this is a reasonably busy road, but we've got a mile left. It's like a busy road crossing up here. This is Newport. I think we were on Newport at one point, weren't we? A lot of people I've noticed, and makes sense with the Mennonites and the Amish, I suspect, but a lot of people hang their laundry out on laundry lines, solar power, pretty cool, like the old days, as it were. Just checked pumpkins back there where I stopped for a little drink of water. A little kind of flattish green ones are, depending on size, are like $5 or $7. And it was a bigger white one and it was 16. So I have some baseline to compare when I go back to those other farms. Pretty land. We're at about 23.3 miles. And it's 12:20. Been in the saddle for an hour and 46 minutes. A cyclist.
Hey, how you doing?
Look at that view off to the right. Wow. Farms everywhere. There's a schoolhouse. Kids must be in their classrooms though. Corn, corn, corn. And more corn. Farmer cutting the corn here. Finally, we see somebody cutting corn. Here's the guy. Oh, that's the guy that just came out. Yep, what they're doing. One machine's cutting the corn and chopping it up. When he gets full, he takes it away. So we got an example of the process. We're going to make a left. Okay, we're on here for just a bit. So this route pretty much avoids busy roads, except for that one. So I'm going to adapt the route so it goes the way I ended up going. And right up here on South Center Avenue. South Center Avenue. Here we are. Another panoramic view. The area over there to the left is close to where we started. So we're on this for half a mile. Spectacular views. So it's nice when you go on a bike ride and there are different things to see. And sometimes that's not the case on trails because you're going through woods. You don't see what's on the other side of the woods. So this is a nice change. We're in kind of a residential area here. Then we're going to head off there to the left. And that's going to bring us back to Garden Spot and where Jimmy and Susan live. We're at 26.2 miles. A little bit different scenery. Oh, there's a little yard sale action going on there. We are going to turn left here. New Holland Road. That just sort of tells us we're getting close to New Holland, I guess. Okay, we're on this for a third of a mile. This is a busy road. Springside Trout Farm, fee fishing. Some gourds. Eastern School Road. All right. Okay, we are in the last 2 miles, I think, if my calculations are correct. We're at 28.2. We're turning left here. Okay, note to self, fix this mirror. I just need to tighten it on the swivel part, because it keeps moving closer to me and then I can't see what's coming. So I need to take care of that. Otherwise, everything's been working fine. I dug into my 32-ounce bottle for some extra water in my drinking bottle, but I haven't drunk as much or needed to drink as much water as I thought I would. But I have plenty with me. Airport Road. Okay, turn that off. A little buggy. So I guess we're still a ways from Garden Spot. Yep, Kinzer. So that was to avoid Kinzer, which is a busy road. And maybe that's the memory care place there. Linden Drive. The real home stretch.